Speaking of the Guardians, another disappointing loss. They're not playing particularly well right now. They're in a slump. They've lost, 5 of 6, and I think like 8 of 10, something like that. It's been about 2 weeks outside of those first 2 games against the Yankees in the Bronx. They have not played well. The bats have gone quiet. I think a positive yesterday was Cecconi for a second straight start, pitched pretty well. But only 2 runs. And again, for the second night in a row, the Guardians had first and second, 1 out. I believe it was the 8th inning both nights. I know it was the 8th inning last night. I think it was the 8th inning.
It was the 8th back-to-back games.
Yeah, right. First and second, 1 out with Bazzana and Ramirez coming up, and neither one came through. Now, they will, but they didn't in these back-to-back games, and in close games against the Yankees, it's disappointing. So I think Bazzana struck out last night, if I remember, and then Ramirez lined out. And then I was about to say Jordan Luplow after yesterday. Chase the Lauder. Big difference from Jordan Luplow, except they're both big and they're both lefties, but that's about it.
Luplow was a righty.
Luplow was a righty. He's not a lefty, so there's no connection whatsoever. He's big, I think. But Chase the Lauder walked to start the 9th, and then obviously Cruz struck him out 1, 2, 3 after that. So anyway, disappointing game, and they're just not there. You know, listen, in baseball, this happens. Teams go through slumps. The Guardians played really well for about 3 weeks. Now they played kind of poorly for 2 weeks.
What did you make of? It seemed like a lot of people were up in arms over the squeeze play. What did you make of that?
You know, I am generally, I'm very anti-bunting, period. I should have mentioned that right away. I left that out of the early analysis. I didn't like it.
I thought...
Go ahead.
Do you think Kwan was doing it on his own?
And
Vogt was covering for him? If Vogt called it, then he has no confidence in Stephen Kwan. If Kwan called it, then he has no confidence in himself.
That's true.
I just don't know which one it is. I don't hate it, honestly. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't feel good in the at-bat,
yeah,
and you're trying to make something happen, like guys who go up to the plate, they just don't have a good... They either
not feeling it that night.
Yeah.
And maybe they can't pick the ball up out of that guy's... Whatever. You're trying to get that run home from third.
It's a good question.
I'm not totally opposed to don't squeeze. I mean, this is the guy who was your leadoff batter 6 weeks ago, and now you can't hit a fly ball to the outfield.
Right, but he's been a little better lately.
He has been.
So it's funny. I didn't think about. I don't know why. I just assumed it was called by Vogt and didn't really consider it, which was stupid. I should have considered that
because Manzardo was not off on the pitch.
No,
it was definitely a safety. It was not a suicide.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And yes, he's more. And Manzardo's not a great base runner either, so he's not a great base runner to do it with.
But it was a terrible bunt.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think he might have done it on his own.
In that situation, that was not a good bunt for a squeeze bunt.
No,
it was way too hard. It was right at the pitcher. So I mean, Jose would have been thrown out at the plate on that bunt. So it wasn't even it wasn't that Manzardo was the one on third.
Right.
It was put a better bunt down. He's going to score.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like very stupid that I didn't think about that Kwan did it on his own.
I don't know if he did or not. I don't know.
No, but it makes more sense now because it didn't really make sense to do it. And I think if you're going to squeeze in that situation, you got to go for the suicide squeeze and not the safety squeeze.
That I probably agree with. I mean, Kwan can handle the bat. He's going to get it down.
Right, Kwan can handle the bat at least in terms of getting the bat on the ball. And because Manzardo lacks speed, he needs to get that jump.
He needs the running start.
Yeah. So, because even if it's an okay, it was a bad bunt, but even if it's an okay bunt and not a great bunt, they might throw Manzardo out anyway because of the late jump and because he's not fast and just not a great base runner in general.
What's up with this guy, by the way?
I
mean, are you guys thinking like this is this is who he is, or is this just a slump?
No, I don't think this is who he is.
No, I think it's a massive
slump.
But I mean, it's June 10th.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point where you got to start having some
what's he hitting?
Conversations.
Like, what's he hitting? I mean, he's been a little better the last couple of weeks.
But still not acceptable.
No, but, I mean, it's going to take a while to get that batting average
I don't care about...
What's he hitting like the last 15 days or something?
Last 15 days, 257 with a 583 OPS.
That's still terrible.
That's not terrible, but
A 580 OPS?
oh no. The OPS is terrible. The batting average is
Yeah.
not terrible. He's not going to be a big OPS
I
guy
know,
because he
I
doesn't
know.
hit
But-
for any power.
But he's hitting 250.
But he was hitting before that.
Yeah,
He's probably hitting.
I
I'm not
know.
saying it's good.
Yeah.
I'm saying 257 in this day and age in baseball is not terrible
But
compared to what he was
Here's
doing.
what I like. If Cooper Ingle is manageable in the outfield,
Yeah.
I think you have to get him up soon, like very soon,
they
so
can't-
that you know if you need to go get something at the trade deadline.
Yes, you can't wait much longer on Quan because
I agree.
we're approaching
and
the middle
it,
of June.
And it doesn't mean that you're giving up on him entirely.
No.
It just means that like you can't count on him every day.
No.
At this point. It's June
Right,
10th.
right. Yeah.
This is like I tell Mike all the time. Memorial Day is sort of like the gauge
Yeah.
of what
Yeah, I mean,
you
we're
are.
about 70 games. We're about 2 weeks from the halfway point of the season.
And this may just be he's just having a bad year.
yeah.
But you're
how
trying
many
to win a
What's the
championship.
Guardians' record now?
They're about 6 over.
The Guardians' record as of right now is 37-32.
Yeah, so they're 12 games from the halfway point of the season. So we're 2 weeks from the halfway point of the
Yeah.
season here.
So I mean the days of it's early, that's over. The days of he'll pull out of it. I don't know if he will or not. For,
Yeah, I'm not
for
sure.
this year at least.
I don't think he's going to be terrible the rest of his career. It just
No.
doesn't make much sense.
Right. And
he's not old enough that this should happen.
I totally agree, and I think Cooper Ingles ahead of Velasquez on the try him in the outfield type
right.
thing.
And they're both really good offensively. I
So-
mean, they both can help.
I just think that we're
Yeah.
and you don't.
And even if you're going to trade Engel potentially, like if he comes up and he hits, well, that just raises his value.
Yeah.
Now, I get it if he struggles.
But I mean, tell Quan he just pulled his hamstring whether he knows it or not, and
Yeah.
give him 10 days to sit down and maybe it's 2 weeks to
Yeah.
just get away from this, clear his head, even send him on a rehab assignment.
Yeah.
Send him on a rehab assignment.
If
where you
he,
don't have to option
if
him for a
he
day.
on his own did a suicide or a safety squeeze, I guess it would be, that's bad. To me, that's bad because that really, and he has talked about in the past
think
having
that shows-
imposter
that shows-
syndrome,
shows you his-
and he has
his
felt a lack
mental-
of confidence at times. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird because he has been a little better the last couple of weeks. You'd think the confidence would be building a little bit, but
I don't know. I just think we're getting very close to maybe he needs a hamstring injury
Yeah.
to just clear your head.
Yeah.
Sit down for 2 weeks.
I mean, even when they,
Go to Columbus, get 3 or 4 games in a rehab.
I
in
do think
Columbus.
even if you call Cooper Ingle up, there's enough between Ingle, Hoskins, Quan, Angel Martínez, DeLauder.
Yeah.
You got 5 guys for 4 spots.
Yeah. Oh, you can mix him.
You could figure it out.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
you have to deal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it may
He
just
might
be in his
need.
best interest.
If
right
he chose
Just take a
to
mental
bunt
break.
there, then I would be
and
with
I mean,
you on that.
I think we have to take vote at his word, I guess, without any proof to the contrary. I guess.
Right. Yeah, but he's never going to say that.
Of course.
He's
but
never
but
gonna
he
say
was
it.
pretty adamant, like that was
Yeah.
the perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, they haven't done it very often.
No, it just sort of struck me as
Yeah.
I don't know. I
But
don't
you're
know.
right. I mean, even if he did choose to do that, it does show a lack of confidence in Quan.
Yeah.
You
He just need a fly ball.
In the past,
Hit a
you
fly
would,
ball.
you would have never done that. You would have trusted
chance.
Quan to
No
put the
chance.
bat on the ball and at least get a sac fly.
I mean, that's what you do with your 8-9 hitters who
Yeah.
you
Right.
have no faith in.
yes.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. It was surprising. Either way, it's surprising.
Yeah. Anyway, I do think Cecconi pitched a decent game.
He's okay.
But yeah, the bats. I mean, that's pretty good for him. 2 runs,
Yeah.
8 base runners in 5 innings. I mean, for your number 5 starter, you'll take that with 7 strikeouts. So, and it's 2 decent starts in a row. Listen, the truth is, he's their 5th starter. Those numbers are acceptable for a 5th starter,
Sure.
right? I mean,
But I think they have probably 2 fifth starters. Because Cantillo really, I
mean,
think he's sort of being exposed as he's probably a 4th
now,
starter.
so I still think he's better than that, but he's no better than 3rd.
No
at
better
best.
than a 3.
Yeah. So
They have 2 guys right now going into a playoff series that I would have full confidence in.
yes,
Gavin Williams and Parker Messick.
right. And
Bybee, I mean, Bybee's great his last time out. You throw
He's
away
inconsistent.
the win-loss record.
Yeah, that doesn't
If
matter.
I have to pick between Cecconi, Cantillo, and Bybee right now, I take Bybee.
yeah, that's easy. That's easy. Easy decision. But they still need one more starter.
Yeah.
We'll see if they go do it.